Hey guys, what is going on? Again, I wanted to stop in and say in this video you might see some stuttering, some frame drops. Note that is not the game itself. The game ran flawlessly. That is an issue with my recording software that I am trying to actively figure out what's going on with it and why it's causing those stutters on playback. Until I figure that out, I'm going to give kind of this intro and tell you guys that's what's going on. But I hope you enjoy the video nonetheless. Let's get into it. Still Wakes the Deep was already a masterclass in atmospheric horror. A rusted, creaking oil rig in the middle of a stormy sea, where danger wasn't just around every corner, it was the corner. So naturally, when I heard Sirens Rest was going to take us back to that world, I strapped on my flippers and prepared for panic. But here's the thing. Sirens Rest isn't trying to terrify you in the same way. Instead of screaming in your face, it whispers. Instead of relentless dread, it offers something quieter, something sadder and more somber, and maybe even something more human. This isn't just more of the same. This is the Beria-D seen through a different lens. One that's 15 years older, settled under the ocean, and haunted not by just monsters, but also by memory.
Dead end, looks like. Well, and a debris pile. There's no gap to swim through.
Set over a decade after the events of the main game, Sirens Rest puts you in the diving suit of a salvage crew member tasked with exploring the sunken remains of the Beria-D. Right off the bat, the DLC dials down the intensity and cranks up the sense of isolation. The environments are claustrophobic, murky, and confusing to navigate. Not in a frustrating way, but in a way that just feels right. You're not supposed to feel comfortable here. You're supposed to feel lost. And that's the brilliance of it. Unlike the base game's non-stop cacophony of groaning metal alarms and supernatural screeching, Sirens Rest replaces the industrial chaos with stillness. The creaks and roars are gone. What's left is the hush of the deep ocean, the slow bubbling of your oxygen line, and the quiet hum of your thoughts as you drift through the wreckage. Make no mistake, this is not a traditional horror experience. The tension is still present, but it's still of a different flavor, more somber, more reflective, and it works. Gameplay here revolves around exploration and discovery. You'll maneuver through twisted metal, flooded hallways, and crumbling chambers, uncovering photos, personal items, and yes, corpses of the crew that never made it out. It's a respectful kind of horror. It's not interested in jump scares, though a few are lightly sprinkled in, but instead leans on that uneasy sense of being alone in a graveyard of steel. There are chase sequences, but they're short and subdued, more like scripted stings than full-on set pieces. That's not a complaint either. Sirens Rest isn't trying to undo the base game, it's trying to recontextualize it. One standout gameplay mechanic involves finding air pockets within the wreckage where you detach your hose and communication tether to explore tight areas on your own.
The umbilical up in the air. I'm going to detach for a little bit. I've got the O2 tanks. I'll come back if I need a recharge. I can't hear you, Rob. Hope you heard what I said. I won't be long.
These moments strip away your literal lifeline, leaving you disconnected and alone, and they're incredibly effective. You feel the weight of these decisions, even though they're linear. You want to hurry, but the world wants you to slow down and take it in. And when you finally reconnect with your team, the relief is real, but fleeting. The DLC is divided into 3 chapters, with the third being the shortest. It's not a long experience, about 2 hours, but it uses that time well. That said, by the end, it does start to feel like it was holding something back. The final act leaves you wanting more, not just because it's short, but because it flirts with deeper themes and answers it never quite delivers on. This isn't a bad thing per se, but if you're coming in expecting the same punch the base game delivered, you may walk away a little underwhelmed. Visually, Sirens Rest is as stunning as the main game. The underwater lighting is beautiful, gloomy, soft, and atmospheric. Particles drift lazily through your vision. The rig structure looks more like a tomb now than a workplace. It's haunting in a way that doesn't rely on gore or shock, just detail. Voice acting, once again, is phenomenal. The small moments between your character and the team above surface or in the pod are touching, grounded, and it keeps the human connection alive, even as the ocean tries to erase it. So, is Sirens Rest worth diving into? Absolutely, but manage your expectations. This isn't a horror thrill ride. It's a quiet, moody epilogue, a chance to go back, not to run from terror, but to sit with it, to understand sort of what happened, to see what's left. Sirens Rest trades horror for reflection, and replaces monsters with memory and fear with melancholy. It's not as thrilling, and it's not trying to be, but it is meaningful. It's a well-crafted, emotionally resonant dive into grief, history, and the quiet pressure of things left unsaid. And even though I wish it had done a little more by the end, what's here is a strong addition to Still Wakes the Deep, especially if you love the base game as much as I did. I would give the DLC a solid 8 out of 10, a somber, thoughtful dive into the wreckage of the past. Just don't expect what you saw the first time around.